Okay, live. What's up? Lewis, you even beat me to it. How you doing, Lewis? It's pretty impressive. I didn't even get started. You're already on the ball. Yeah, Lewis, you're going for that number one spot. I know it. Aiming for that trophy. All right. Not to be repetitive, but I'm going to start out with another Arvind animal activist video since he's got a new one up. I realize it's a bit repetitive, but why not? Like to stay up to date with Arvind. Now, I titled this one Mel and Steve set to launch Project Livestream because later today, my time in America time, it'll be like middle of the night. But for Mel and Steve, it'll be what is it, 7 a.m. Anyway, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch the project announcement and also try to boost a couple of the channels that haven't reached 50 subs yet, which you need 50 subs to do a live stream. And there's a few that haven't yet reached that landmark so that they can do that. What's up, Kane? Nice to see you. And so this is just to kind of help support that effort, which is sort of an experimental launching. Cool people involved. What's up, Neil, Kane, Lewis? Nice to see you all.
Firstly, I think I should appreciate you because I am born a vegetarian, but I never thought that animal are still suffering, and I always thought that like killing animal is only the cruelty. But I think you changed the perspective of that for me, and I think for all of us. I think I should appreciate that. And another thing is that you in the starting said vegan is a western concept. So how is like as they are mostly eating the uh, animal foods, how they are adapting to this concept, uh, and as far as India is considered, India is at least a vegetarian country. Most of them are vegetarian, but if you consider the foreign countries, they are like they have to eat a meat every day for like that is their diet. So what your opinion on that?
Okay, several things. First of all, veganism definitely, yes, I agree, is a Western concept. It is coined by a British man named Donald Watson. He is so definitely veganism is a Western concept. But I want to reiterate the concept of ahimsa is not a Western concept. That was born here in this country. Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, or any form of teachings where ahimsa is used comes from this country. Now, this country was probably one of the first. I have to really appreciate Jains here because they are the ones who really took ahimsa to that next level. Of course, they drink milk, I'm aware of that, but they don't use silk. Vegans don't use. They don't drink honey. We don't drink honey. So the thing is that we have to understand that this is just a natural
Very true. Level 8,000.
extension. It is told that in India, at least when it comes to our religious texts and all that Lord Krishna drank milk. That milk is divine and pure. It is Amrit. It's what it's called as. But I always tell people, first of all, if you read the Gita, Lord Krishna never told that you have to drink milk or that you have to even offer him milk. He told, give me a flower, a leaf, a water, or anything in devotion, and I'll accept that. No God is, first of all, asking for milk. Second thing is, those were different times. The way it was depicted in the scriptures, how cows were taken care of. That's why I told right now it is the Kali Yuga. In this Yuga, if you want to get milk, it is blood milk. So I would always request all of my Hindu brothers and sisters who care for cows, please keep going vegan as your utmost priority. Now, we are talking about the West and other countries, say, for example, China, which is the biggest killer of animals on earth. Then we have the US, we have the Middle East, we have European countries, all this stuff. Russia is there.
It's funny that he said Western countries and then he brought up China. I don't consider China to be a Western country, but all right.
Me being an Indian, first of all, I have to focus on my people. My lectures, my speeches, and my thoughts, I put forward first to my own crowd. If I were to now go to, say, the US or Europe or Africa and I spoke there, they'll be like, get out. They won't even welcome my ideas. They're like, you're not even one of us. What do you know about our culture or anything? You leave. Which is why I'm first trying to make our fellow Indians understand. But the sad reality is right now, you won't believe this, my friend, there are more vegans in the West and vegans in the Middle East than there are in our country. In our country, we have a lot of vegetarians. But whenever you said that you never considered that such cruel.
In certain places in America, I'm sure this is true of Europe too, but in America, a lot of the more liberal areas, you'd probably have more credibility as an Indian than a white person, because all the white liberals would give you their attention. It's just it's like, like a lot of people, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of people are very insecure about privilege. A lot of people are insecure and they want to they always want to portray how not racist they are, and one of those ways to do that is to show deference to people of color. And so I actually think that Arvind would be extremely successful in certain locales in America. I could be wrong, but definitely where I live.
Is happening in the dairy industry, and you listen to the open mind, which I appreciate and I applaud that. But you won't believe when I go and talk to so many vegetarians, they don't even want to hear what I'm saying. You talk about dairy and they'll be like, yeah. So how's the weather? Like, they just change the topic. They will literally walk away, or they'll say, oh, it doesn't happen where I get milk from. Where I get milk from doesn't happen. Everyone thinks that they alone get milk from a place where no cruelty is happening, but it's happening everywhere. So before pointing fingers at other countries, I will want us first to point fingers at ourselves. In English, we say it as throwing stones from your own glass house. We should not throw stones from a glass house. At this point in time, as an activist, I am focusing on making my people go vegan. There are activists abroad, and there are so many vegans in Europe, in Israel, in America, in Canada. Like, you wouldn't believe the number of vegans there, much more than us. Right now, unfortunately, I come from a vegetarian background, and in my young age, when I was growing up, I was eating meat. And I notice right now many people who are even born as vegetarian are gravitating towards eating meat rather than moving towards vegan.
Because I have a very serious problem, which is a big shortage of these, and so I need to grab a few. I need to fix that. So I'm going to leave this running. I'll be right back.
Veganism, which is why awareness campaigns like this are of the utmost priority. And I'd also say, yes, please be a vegan, but also try your best to make that next effort and step to share this information to as many people as you possibly can. Like I told, this is wonderful documentary. Please watch it tonight. It's called Maa Ka Doodh on YouTube. Available for free in Hindi and English, Maa Ka Doodh. Watch that documentary, share it with friends and family, make more people aware of this. Let's work hard. Like, I have dedicated my life for this, by the way. I am 31 years old. I quit my job. I was working in a great salary job, Amazon. I was earning a lot of money back then. I quit my job because I just could not take it to see what was happening to these animals, and they're suffering, and people just don't care. So I have now devoted my life to raising awareness, and I will say happily, I have convinced across our country thousands of people to become vegan. But thousands is nothing compared to the overall population. So we must change, and we must also raise awareness and educate more people to change as well. Only when more people start getting involved, we have more awareness campaigns and more people are changing, then we can see a shift. I want to make India the vegan capital of the world, but more than vegan capital of the world, I am aiming to create a country where animals can live free from harm and suffering. So my comments on the West, they're actually better than us right now in this point in time. Time for India to catch up, time for India to again be the land of ahimsa and take this world forward in a positive way for humans and animals. That will be my answer.
So according to you, vegan is a mental aspect concept. Like I have seen many celebrities saying that I'm vegan. So what are their perspective on saying that? Is it is it beneficial for them, or
What's up, Alicia?
is it like they are supporting the vegan conceptuality?
Okay. I have met in my life only very, very few celebrities who are actually vegan. And I also want to outright first say to the crowd that I am not associated with any other organization in this country. I don't want to name any names, but I think you know which one I'm talking about, animal rights organizations. The reason being is they are doing it.
Y'all see my last interview with Alexandra Paul from Baywatch, vegan. She told me that Kevin Nealon had the rights to Free the Animals, the Ingrid book about the ALF. also vegan, according to Alexandra. Didn't know that. Kevin Nealon is the comedian who was on SNL, I think, right? Joaquin Phoenix. I don't. A ton of them. There's a ton of them.
Terrible job. They are giving awards to celebrities saying that this person is now a vegan or something. Next day on Instagram, the celebrity is showing how to cook chicken shawarma. So that is completely stupid and useless. It's pointless. And plus, if we are talking about justice for animals, I don't want to say to people, hey, look at this. This celebrity is vegan, so become vegan. No, 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 no. You be vegan because you understand that hurting animals is wrong. That is the only reason to become vegan. Not because some random person now today chooses to temporarily eat only vegan food. These people are not vegan, by the way. I think what's happening is that many of these animal rights organizations, they want to make it in the headlines. So they will do a collaboration with these celebrities. Like say, for example, tomorrow someone like John Abraham. Okay,
Like I have seen Virat Kohli say,
he's not
like,
vegan. Yeah, he's not vegan. He is what you call as a plant-based, meaning that majorly he eats only plant-based food. But ethically, he's not. For example, say right now it's your birthday. Give me a chocolate. I'll ask you, bro, is there milk in that? If you say yes, I won't take it. Virat Kohli will take and eat it because for him, he's not caring about the ethics. He's doing it because he's saying it's benefiting his sports performances. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, my buddy and I always laugh about this one article we read. I think it was from Plant Based News, and no shade on Plant Based News because I love them, but it was a funny article. And I think the headline was something like the NBA is going vegan or something like that. It's because, there were some vegans in the NBA and remain some vegans in the NBA, like Chris Paul, or at least like Arvin said, or at least plant based. Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving, and there are several others. Kate Cunningham, who was like the number one pick in the NBA draft a couple of years ago, star for the Detroit Pistons. He's also plant based or vegan, potentially vegan, but at least plant based. But we laugh about that article and this whole phenomenon that Arvin's talking about, where the vegan media or the vegan animal rights groups, will latch on to a celebrity because we're so desperate for, mainstream approval.
Doing it for a selfish reason, right? I am not saying to become vegan because it's good for our health, which if you've done in a proper way, it is. I am saying to be only for the animals. So he is not a vegan. Similarly, if you remember John Abraham, he came on the KBC show some 3-4 years ago.
What's up, Veganism for All? Good name.
He was crying there and saying, people are doing animal cruelty, this is so wrong, and everyone was clapping and praising him. He's been 2-3 years since he made that appearance. He is still not a vegan. He still eats fish. He still eats eggs. He still consumes milk. So I don't know why they're doing this. Are they doing it for publicity? Are they doing it for fame, for money? I don't know. Whatever they are doing, I am not with them. This is a justice liberation movement. And this is happening for the victims, which are the animals. So I don't support any of those campaigns where these celebrities are used because, first of all, they are not even vegan. And second, that is not the reason to become vegan. Reason to become vegan is for the animals, not.
I actually disagree with Arvin. I sort of agree with him, but I also understand why it's done, and I have not that much problem with it. It is unfortunate that some of these people aren't completely vegan, or they, or they turn their back on it, like Lizzo did. But I don't know. Whatever gets attention for the cause is still good in my view.
Because someone I watch in some cinema screeners right now choosing to be vegan, that's not veganism. So yeah.
So like I'm vegetarian, but what's your like saying to me? Why should I become like vegan? So what's that
Can you hear him?
difference point for me?
Okay. I first have to ask a personal question. That is like, I want to understand from, you don't have to go into detail, from a religious or cultural perspective, are you someone who values cows? Like, do you look at cows and think, Go Mata, her life is precious? You do?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Then it is of the nth degree of importance you become a vegan. Right now, we are living.
I don't think it's that serious of a point of disagreement, Lewis, because, I mean, who cares? Like, what's the harm? I don't know. Are we that concerned about our I don't know. I mean, I don't see a huge downside to it. Maybe a small one.
Being in a country where we are saying Gau Mata, we are saying cow is mother, we are not treating her like mother, we are treating her like
Okay, you say big harm. Well, what is the big harm? What do you think?
garbage, worse than garbage. We should be ashamed that we are the second largest exporter of beef on earth. Many people say, but bro, that is Cara beef, that is killed from buffaloes. As if that is something to be proud of, instead of killing cows or killing buffaloes. Both is the same evil. My point is that right now, the dairy industry in India, unfortunately, they are using religion and culture to portray themselves and show like they're doing a noble thing. Hey, look, we are employing so many farmers, which is true. And we are giving you milk, and look, all the gods ate milk out of this, which is true in terms of scripture.
But then that point comes out, like, where will the farmer, like, if I do consider for farmers, the not the first, if this at least second source of income is milking the cow. So what's your opinion on?
Okay, see, a couple of things here. First of all, in this situation where this is happening, the farmer is not the victim. I have to be very clear about it. If there's someone in a slaughterhouse right now or a dairy farm or egg hatchery working and they are hurting animals, the person hurting the animal, if they're poor or not is not the point here. They are not the victim. When someone is being hurt, the one who's being hurt is the victim. Because if I replace that animal with somebody here in this room, no one will say that farmer is the victim. No one will say, but the farmer has to make livelihood. How come we're saying only for these animals? Because again, we have been taught by society to think that it's okay, cow exists only for milk, chicken exists only for meat and eggs. That's very wrong.
That's fair, Lewis. Big harm changes and dilutes veganism and its moral weight. I can get behind that. Alicia says Ozempic stuff under a few farmer names. Yeah, could be.
Secondly, what will happen to their livelihood? You remember the point I was talking about supply and demand, that is based on customer demand, these foods will change, the production of these foods. As we are moving towards a vegan world, more and more people eat only plant-based food, less and less eat animal food, be it meat, milk, eggs, anything. At this point, less number of animals will be bred. That means that this sector, the dairy sector, meat sector, egg sector, or leather sector, anything, they will not be much more profitable. At that point, people working in that industry will then move over to another industry. I'll just finish it shortly. For example, right now we all use online emails to send mails. Before, when it comes to the post business in India, there were crores of postmen. Now that Gmail and Yahoo took over, do we ask the question, what happened to them? Do they all die? No. They have found some other job and they have moved along. Earlier, we used to have so many porters in the railway station to carry our luggage. These days, no one needs porters because they have this wheel which they can drag along and take their carts. So what happened to all the porters? Did they all die or disappear? No, they found another job. Best example I'll give you, when I was young and growing up, we used to have a calculator, a separate phone, a computer, we used to have a DVD player, a VCR player, we used to have so many other gadgets like an organizer. This time, everything can be found in just one thing. This is a supercomputer, a smartphone. What happened to people who are working in the DVD business? What happened to those who are working in the Walkman business? They found another job. Similarly, the way the market is designed, the economy is designed, when one sector is beginning to fall, opportunities will open up in another sector. So people who are working here will just have to move over there. Because this society, capitalistic society, is based on supply and demand. So as the demand changes and this changes here, these people will not become jobless. They'll just get different jobs. That's my answer.
Nice. Good job, Arvind. All right, Mel and Steve. Put that in there. Glitch already. There it is. Didn't affect this tab, though. That's good. Affected that one.
How long have you been vegan?
I'm not vegan.
You're not vegan?
No.
Oh no, why not?
Because I eat meat.
Why, you eat meat?
Yeah.
How come?
I just like meat.
You like meat?
Yeah.
How are you justifying it?
What do you mean?
You know that there's a victim for you to be non-vegan, right?
Yeah.
So how do you justify paying for the victim to suffer in slaughterhouses and have their bodily autonomy taken for you.
I can't justify it.
Can't justify it.
No.
So would it be something that you wouldn't want to continue to pay to do?
Maybe.
Did you ever know that you were paying for that sort of violence towards the animals, or was it also hidden from you?
It's hidden from me.
Hidden, right?
Yeah.
Because these industries, they don't even take a neutral position. When you think about it, when you grow up, they give you children's books, who Happy Farms. You're then told the RSPCA protect animals. You didn't know the RSPCA certified gas chambers. You didn't know the Red Tractor certified stamp is like certifying farmers being violent towards animals. So as the consumer, you're lied to the whole time. You're told this is humane, this is okay, it's done in a nice way, we have to do it, right? So then you end up a compassionate, I'm just guessing at the moment, we'll find out, a compassionate, empathetic human being paying for some of the most horrific violence on this planet towards the most innocent beings. What do you think of that? How do you feel about being lied to all that time?
I don't like it.
Yeah. I love that he brings up being lied to. I always wonder why people aren't more angry that they're getting lied to, that they're still willing to give those companies money. I remember I used to buy Organic Valley milk all the time. I thought it was such a good thing to do, to buy the Organic Valley milk. They had that little cartoon on the side of the carton. I am so pissed off at that company for so many reasons. Namely because it's dairy, obviously, but also just that they sort of preyed upon my intent to do a good thing. That pisses me off. I want them to go under. Like, why would I continue to give money to a company that is just blatantly lying? I don't get it. And more people don't react angrily to just being flat out lied to. Blows my mind. Like Fairlife Dairy. Why is Fairlife still around with those big exposés that came out? There was some good news on Fairlife. Apparently, one of those suppliers that was exposed by ARM did shut down recently, which is awesome. But Fairlife should shut down. They're the ones that keep getting caught over and over again. It's the suppliers that supply to Fairlife keep getting caught. Fairlife should be out.
It's not good.
It's not good, right?
No.
Right, why do you think they lie to you?
For money.
Got it, mate. Exactly. All the time that you think it's good, you're going to keep paying for it. They're going to make money. The victims are hidden, and you think that there's nothing wrong. And this is exactly where they have the majority of people. Majority of people at the moment. If you walk down the street today and you said, "Do you love animals? Do you think that animals?"
No, this is in the UK. Veganism for All. This is, yeah, as Lewis said, this is Steve from Melon Steve, who are the namesake of the channel because they're about to launch their Project Livestream in the morning for the UK. I'll play that video right after this. And then, as I said earlier, we're gonna. They keep putting out these calls for people to follow these channels that haven't yet reached 50 subscribers, so that they can do live streams, so they can take part.
should deserve moral value? Do you think we
I
should?
wanted to do it when there were more people here to see it, but we're up to what? Oh God, it says 5 viewers. Not enough, but what are you gonna do?
Consider animals. I reckon
Also, those numbers don't seem to be accurate.
95% of the people here would say yeah, but they don't realise what's happening behind closed doors, right? Now that you know, you've seen that. What stood out to you, by the way? What was the things that stood out to you, or did the whole thing just like
The whole thing.
The whole thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now that you know, what are you going to do with that information?
I probably will stop eating meat, to be fair.
Stop eating meat?
Yeah.
What about the dairy? Did you understand the dairy industry in there?
Yeah, yeah.
Why would you stop eating meat but still continue to eat dairy?
I can't really answer that question, to be fair.
So, all right, you'd stop eating meat because you realise that there's an animal being killed for it, right? Did you understand about the dairy industry, the way that they kill the animals because the milk production slows down, the males are considered waste products? So people stop eating animals' bodies and they think that this is enough, right? Because we think that milk and eggs, innocent byproducts, you think there can't be any harm attached to it. Cows just produce milk. The only reason why cows produce milk is because they're mums. They make them pregnant, they take the babies, they take her milk, and then they make chocolate bars, then they make yogurts, then they make cheese. And then when her milk production slows down, she's killed. If the babies that she's born are boys, they're a waste product. They're killed. If they're a female, they get put in isolation hutches. They get put on the back of the dairy chain. So just because you stopped eating the actual flesh of the animals, you can still be responsible for the violence if you're still eating eggs, if you're still buying dairy, you're still wearing leather and wool. You see, it's like it's a whole thing. It's not just a diet. So all these things, something that you would remove yourself from, given the right information.
Yeah.
Yeah? If I gave you a card, which there's a thing basically, right? You sign up to this thing called Challenge 22. It's completely free. Just put your email in. And every day they were going to give you advice. And there's even someone you can contact on there for free. You say, look, I live here, I shop there, this is my monthly budget, this is my scenario, and I want to be vegan. They'll give you all of the cheat codes. They'll make it super easy for you to understand what vegan alternatives or what switches you can make. You know, I'll buy this toothpaste, this is a vegan one, get that one next time. So you can get all this information. If I gave you the information for that, would you sign up and then go vegan? Try it out?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It out, yeah.
I'll take this card.
Nice.
3 minutes movie, WTF. Right, this is the website. This code gets you in.
No nonsense, this guy. Just like, yeah, I'll do that. No wasted words, no excuses being made. Just, I mean, I hope he's taking it seriously. You can never tell. Sometimes people are just, responding, but he seems pretty attentive.
Right, go in there, watch the top one. There's something called Dominion. Watch that. It's similar to what you just watched, but it's a little bit more in depth. This is 3 minutes. That's about an hour long.
Okay.
But it shows you each individual. Like, this doesn't cover too much of the dairy industry or the egg industry. But this is going to go further into it, and it will explain to you the injustice to the animals, right? Watch that. Sign up to Challenge 22. And if you don't want to be hypocritical, if you do want to be empathetic and caring towards animals, being vegan is the least we can do. Everyone thinks, oh, it's such a hard thing to be vegan. It should be the baseline. I'm going to remove myself from oppressing this group. And then, you know what? I'm going to speak to my friends about it. I'm going to come out in the street. I'm going to talk to other people about it. Because now, as an individual, I see a victim that has no voice. I see a victim that's locked in cages. I see a victim that has no hope of being liberated unless I come and talk to someone. So then you start talking to people and defend.
Joey Carbstrong is the reason why Steve is vegan. They, Mel and Steve were watching YouTube and they came across a Joey Carbstrong street debate where he was talking about the dairy industry and they went vegan on the spot. And so yeah. And then they told me that it was years later that they got to meet Joey, and it was like at vegan camp out, I believe. And they stood in line to be able to meet Joey, and they said Joey and Tariam were so lovely. And then they got back in line. We joked about, oh, did you put on like a fake mustache so you could get back in the line? But anyway, they were able to meet the person who turned them vegan, which I'm jealous of because, as I've told my story, the woman who encouraged me to watch Earthlings, I'll never see again. Probably, honestly, if I saw her, I wouldn't recognize her, because it's not very distinct in my mind as to what exactly she looked like.
Because they need people like you and me. Yeah.
Only that she was very attractive, and of course she was. She was vegan. I mean, of course, she was glowing. She had that vegan glow.
All right, man. It's been nice to talk to you. It's Joe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Joe. All right, good luck being vegan, mate. And Challenge 22, they're going to give you all the advice you need.
Nice. They got the new project video right up on the screen. So there's the link to that video. Make sure you go sub to Mel and Steve if you're not. Sounds like Alicia, maybe you're not sub to Mel and Steve. Well, no. Now you've got homework that you can do here in 2 seconds. Here's the new project here.
We want to introduce to you our new project called Project Livestream, Awakening the World. This is going to be a project that you can be involved with as well. It's going to be focused on doing YouTube live streams outside slaughterhouses all across the world. So it doesn't matter if you don't live in the UK, this is going to be international.
Tomorrow is going to be the launch. It's our first event tomorrow morning, which is Friday. We'll be launching at 7 a.m. Please come to our YouTube channel. Log on at
That's 7 a.m. UK time. So however that translates.
7 o'clock. See the other activists as we introduce them at their locations all over the world, and support them, like, share, comment, get the streams out there. The further these streams go, the more the animals are seen. So that help of just being in the room, commenting and sharing and liking does amazing for the animals. So please, 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 if you can, be there.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't understand kind of what we're doing, you can come and check out our plan tomorrow, see what we're up to, and message us if you want to be involved.
This is also the start of what we're going to attempt to do, an international live stream day. We want one day of the year where we're going to kind of crescendo this up to one big main event where we're going to get as many activists worldwide as we can for that day, all outside of different slaughterhouses worldwide, all live streaming, making sure that animals are seen. So please be part of it. The animals need you.
Yeah, let's do this for the animals.
What do you know about waiting in front of the...
Nice. All right. Let me link to that as well. Okay, so as part of that, Mel and Steve have been doing really cool stuff. What's up, Felix? Promoting these other channels that are brand new, that haven't yet reached 50 subscribers. And you need apparently 50 subscribers to go live. So we're coming down to the wire for tomorrow. So if you want to support, let me go ahead and show you a few of them. And we can do it together. I haven't subbed to these channels yet. We'll do it live, okay? We'll do it live, as Bill O'Reilly said. Fuck it, we'll do it live. All right, here's one of them. Earthling World, 16 subs. Let's subscribe. Let me go ahead and link them so that they can get, there's 8 people watching, so we should see that number go up by 8. All right, there's one. We should see this go to 24 by the end of this. Let's check out. There's already a few shorts here, so let's check this out.
What if we've been getting it wrong this whole time? Dogs love belly rubs. They get the zoomies. They love to play. They love cuddles. But when it's a pig or a cow, we look away. They feel love, fear, pain, just like the animals we welcome into our homes. We say we love animals, but forget that some were never given the chance to be loved. What if the only difference is the story we were told? It's not too late to choose kindness. Be someone they can trust, not someone they fear.
Earthling World. Nice. Okay, let's watch another one.
This could be the most important documentary exposing animal testing.
This one is about the film that I was pushing the other day. Undercover Inside the Bunker. Let's check it out.
That you see this year. Undercover Inside the Bunker, which is the English title of the Spanish documentary Infiltrada en el Bunker, is out now on Prime Video. The film follows Carlota Soarza, an animal rights activist who spent 18 months undercover inside a pharmaceutical testing lab. Her identity is concealed for her safety, but her courage exposes what the industry never wanted the public to see. Directed by Goya-winning filmmaker Pablo de la Chica, the documentary avoids graphic imagery, but what it...
By the way, my effectiveness, I call into question sometimes because I put out a message on my social media or something. I don't know what I did. I don't know where I put the message, but I was like, you know what we should do with this film? We should all go and write positive reviews, make sure. And I checked just the other day, this is like a week later, I checked the other day, and there's only 2 reviews for this film. So apparently, people aren't listening to me and doing what I command, which is bullshit. I expect compliance.
Reveals is a deeply disturbing reality. It goes beyond one lab, exposing a global system of cruelty and the industries that keep it hidden.
At least they are 2 5-star reviews, though, on Amazon. So it does have a perfect 5.
Here in the UK, over 2,000 beagles are still being bred at MBR Acres, a facility that supplies puppies.
But guys, how the fuck does this film, which if you have Prime, you can watch, how the fuck does it have 2 reviews? and it's been out for like 3 weeks or something.
To laboratories for experimentation. At just 16 weeks old, they're taken away to labs and forced to endure painful experiments they can't escape from. Since 2021, Camp Beagle has held a 24/7 peaceful protest outside MBR's gates in England, refusing to stay silent and demanding the facilities be shut down. Earlier this year, after more than 200,000 people signed a
Mary, you will
petition to ban the
comply.
use of dogs in scientific and regulatory procedures, Parliament held a debate. 19 MPs spoke out in support of the ban, but the government dismissed it with no vote, no plan, and no action. In 2022, Animal Rising rescued 23 beagle puppies from the same facility.
All right,
Now,
we should.
those rescuers face up to 10 years in prison, with trial set for December.
And then do the thumbs up on the video, and then write a positive review that's like, whoa, must be seen, vegan or not.
2025, simply for trying to save their lives. Camp Beagle and Animal Rising are both featured in the film, sharing their
Well,
first-hand
apparently Mary doesn't care about animals, because to not comply means that you're against the animals. You're either with us or you're against us, Mary. What are you?
experiences and the powerful work they've done to expose this cruelty. The beagles shown in the film are all from locations by MBR Acres, a global system still operating today. The UK government have recently said that they will publish a new animal testing plan by the end of the year, but campaigners warn it won't include
John?
deadlines,
John Curtin?
targets, or real change. And while
Go check out my interview with John.
Amazon UK isn't promoting the film, that's where we all come in. So what can you do? Watch Undercover Inside the Bunker, out now on Prime Video.
There it is. There's the title. For some reason, it's like you type in undercover period inside the bunker. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Maybe it's doing better in like Prime Espanol. I don't know. I don't know. But I just don't understand why it's not getting more views.
Email your MPs. Templates are available at thecampbeagle.com. Share this post and tag your friends. Let's get the truth out there.
Okay, we got a little diverted because we were about, look, 22, already the bump. That's awesome. Let's see how far. 22. Okay, that means 2 of you did not comply, probably like Mary did. Mary probably didn't comply. I mean, so if we don't achieve animal liberation, we can all blame Mary. Okay, here's another channel that we need to bump. This one right here. Share this tab. 17 subscribers. I expect to see that go up to 25 in the next few minutes. Canas Veganas. All right. They too need to be able to live stream. Canas Veganas. Yeah, we'll do a home demo. We'll do a home demo at Mary's place. And we've got one short that says no views. What the fuck? Let's check it out.
Esto que estás viendo pasa cada vez que compras huevos.
I don't understand.
¿Qué está pasando? Los pollitos machos,
But I like it
según
anyway.
nacen, son asesinados porque solo quieren a las hembras.
I trust her.
Estos animales que tú consumes y de los que tú te aprovechas viven una vida de completa tortura y sufrimiento. Viven un horror. Y luego...
I trust her explicitly. Okay, we're up to 20. I said 25 now. Who's lagging? Son of a... I mean... Got 9 people in here right now. The other ones that they have pushed out, I believe, have all reached 50. So it's going to be these two. These 2 vids. Hang on. $21. Peer pressure works, guys. Peer pressure works. It's got to be 25, though. It's got to be 25. 10 people in here. Let's get these guys the bump. We're running up against the wire, for some of these people to be able to take part in the live streaming tomorrow. But anyway, all right. Let me do one more refresh. 23. We're getting there. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. I'm glad you let me bully you. All right. Aaron P. My friend Aaron P. A lot of you guys know Aaron P. Suggested that I check out this Vegan Gains debate with this guy. I don't know who this is. Nobody loves enlightened radical centrism more than I do. Let me change the What's up, Melon Steve? How's it going? Nice to see you. Melon Steve, we got about 7 or 8 subs to those channels. Speaking of Aaron P, last I checked on Aaron P's channel, he was on the cusp of 400. We broke 400 just the other day. Maybe we can break 400 for Aaron P. What do y'all think? You think we can do it? Get Aaron... Wait, hang on. I typed in Aaron P accidentally into my browser instead of YouTube. By the way, don't sub to this channel. I think he's against veganism. But anyway, we're gonna...
As a new mom and content creator, LegalZoom's really helped me out. I use LegalZoom to register an L.
For those who don't know.
Okay, so...
Veganism is...
All right. But, sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah, I typed in Aaron P into my browser and it brought up Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. Let me get Aaron P on there too. Because he's sitting at 397. We can get him to 400 during this stream. If y'all like gaming content, check out Aaron P. Oh, there's Aaron P. So, Melon Steve, let me, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all mod powers, just in case there are any other channels that y'all want to promote. Hang on. Okay. Mel, if that's you, I assume that's you, Mel. You mentioned that it's usually you. So Mel, you have mod powers now. So if there are any other channels, I just did the 2 that didn't yet have 50 subs, to try to get them a little bump. But yeah, feel free to promote all you want, any channels. And we're looking forward to the live streaming tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna write Vegan Gains screen. Okay, this is Aaron P's recommendation. Again, I don't know this channel. I don't know what to expect from this fairly short debate, it appears. But he's debating Richard, so we know how this is going to go. He's going to get destroyed. The fundamental philosophical problem with veganism, featuring Vegan Gains.
An ethical philosophy that seeks to add animals within the code of human rights. So in cases where we would grant humans rights, we would grant animals equal rights if they were to be trade equalized. So mentally disabled humans, they're kind of considered in a unique sort of legal category. They may not necessarily have the right to vote. They don't have the same rights to self-determination. So they might not be able to have, like, you know, a driver's license. They might not be able to.
You're very powerful, Mel. And with great power comes great responsibility, Mel. So use it wisely. Use it wisely. Use it for good. Don't let, evil tempt you. Don't be like what might happen to Mary, where she might be tempted by evil forces.
Live on their own. They may have to live their entire lives with a guardian. So, like, animals, you could kind of consider them as mentally or physically disabled human beings. I'm not advocating for, cows to be able to have a right to vote or get a driver's license, stuff like that. But, the basic things, like if we were to treat cows sort of like mentally or physically disabled human beings, we wouldn't round disabled people up, put them in a slaughterhouse, turn them into hamburgers. So that's the basic idea. And
I like it. I'm sympathetic to. I'm very sympathetic to. Well, hold on. First off, just real quick, we have not talked before. What have you encountered of my videos before? How familiar are you with my?
None. Somebody
Perfect.
actually just recommended that I go over to your stream now.
Okay, perfect, good. I'm sympathetic to veganism. I'm mostly on the topic of factory farming. I think factory farming is a immoral blight on humanity.
And you should be vegan because just about everything that you consume as a non-vegan in terms of animal products has come from a factory farm. So yeah, you should be vegan.
I think it is absolutely good to do things that reduce.
And by the way, when people say this bullshit, like I'm sympathetic to veganism, we don't care. Vegans don't care if you're sympathetic to veganism. So that's just a throwaway comment that wastes time.
The existence of factory farming. Where I disagree with vegans, and I don't understand, is I am perfectly happy with if you raise a cow like out on an open pasture in its whole life, and at the very end you just.
Well played, Mel and Steve. Well played.
Hang on. I am perfectly happy with if you raise a cow like out on an open pasture in its whole life, and at the very end you just Javier Bardem it with the nail gun. That's perfectly normal. That's perfectly
fine and not psychotic at all. And it's funny that he used Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men as his model for what's perfectly okay. If y'all don't remember, have y'all seen No Country for Old Men? He's this psychotic guy going around killing people with this air gun thing, emotionless. And it's actually a great metaphor for what we do to animals. It's great. That's great imagery because we do it without emotion, completely like dead in the eyes, like that brilliant portrayal by Javier Bardem, which is it's a great film, by the way. Great film.
The moral, I want that. Cows are delicious. I'm against the torturing of the animals. And what I don't understand is why or how you where I would say my biggest issue with veganism is where do you.
We watched it recently, actually. My family, we watched that fairly recently again. And yeah, it is so good. I especially love like the first, sorry to diverge, but the first like third of the film where he's just wandering around in the desert. If y'all don't know, watch the film. But those scenes were awesome.
Draw the line on what is worthy of moral consideration, because obviously you have like a cow, dog, cat. Okay, mouse, rodent. What about frog? What about insect?
Yeah, he started listing animals and he put cow, dog, cat. He started working his way down. Interesting that he put dog above cat. He's ready for a debate, a strong debate from the cat lovers.
Where's the line in which we
The line is sentience, obviously. That's the line, Paul.
give life like moral consideration?
Well, the bare minimum would have to be sentience. So sentience is just the ability to have a subjective experience. You could use like sentience and consciousness interchangeably.
Okay.
Now, there could, in theory, be forms of consciousness that we don't really care about, or we might actually have an interest in exterminating. So if like you had a consciousness where its only conscious experience was suffering, like you're just constantly in pain, sort of like Mises from Rick and Morty, you might actually have an interest in ending, that form of consciousness because it's
Sure.
not a life that's worth living. Or you could have a form of consciousness that could, like, say, only experience light and dark, or could only perceive like a certain color. There's no quality to the experience where you can actually benefit from existing. Like it's kind of weird and abstract, but if you could only experience like blue and that's it,
Yeah,
like there's
that's not
just
like a
blue, you
total
can't
conscious
enjoy
experience.
blue.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Well, but
you
like
could you could have a baseline where it's conscious experience that can experience well-being, and there could be
We're sort of going on a lot of I feel like we're already sort of on a into the gray area, the tangents, because well, I understand what Richard's doing. He's just setting it up, but clearly the line that he's drawing is far below chicken, fish, cows, pigs, goats, turkeys, whoever.
some creatures that actually exist in the real world that don't meet that minimum standard.
Like a fish.
It could be, well, no, fish, I think it's pretty clear that they absolutely can experience
What's up, Sally?
well-being, but
Okay,
there
how
could be
about
like a variety of insects or something like that.
Kane's made a suggestion. Let me check it out. Okay. Hard for me to get to this. Oh yeah, this is one of the channels, by the way. Pretty sure this is one of the channels, and the only reason that I didn't feature, well, this is one of the channels that Mel and Steve were pushing, and the only reason I didn't feature it here, which I probably should have, is just because they had already reached the 50 threshold to do live streams. But we should all sub to that channel. By the way, I was just the 69th subscriber, which kind of makes me special. So, yeah, take that. Take that. But you should be the 70th.
Well, the cows don't want to lose their babies.
You know, these animals were all babies, just like the one inside your tummy. Why don't they get to live their lives?
The human milk belongs to humans, the cow's milk belongs to their calves. Not you. Well, what? He said he thinks that cow's milk belongs to him. You know what I mean? So how about, did you just listen to what I told you about the ethics?
Pretty hard to hear, but sub to that channel. Yeah, were y'all the 69 subscriber? I don't think so. Let me get back to the debate here.
Yeah. So do you draw the line at insect? Like, is it okay for me to light the wasp nests outside on fire and watch them burn?
So,
I just get annoyed that we have to go there. We have to go to insect before we can address the animals that you consume. But whatever, let's go to insect and do the insect thing because I guess this is about running out the clock.
I like there in all likelihood, a creature like a wasp can experience well-being. I'm just saying there probably are certain insects or insect-like creatures. I'm not like a biologist. There's probably some very simple life forms that may be sentient,
right?
But don't cross that threshold to be able to experience well-being. In theory, but if I had to guess, if I had to guess, like a wasp or a bee or something like that, they probably can.
Okay, are you against? Because I agree.
Here we're gonna go on crop dust now.
We can't know for sure, but I would put cows in the in not that category, but they are in a category where if they live their whole life on like a nice open pasture, and it's like, oh great, they're just cows, and then you just Javier Bardem it. I don't think that's actually because
I love that he keeps using Javier Bardem as what we do to animals. It's really helpful.
It is a lower form of consciousness. I don't actually think that's a moral crime. Right?
Let me pull up I wonder if we can do this. I'm going to try it. If I get cut off, y'all, it's because I try to play this. So anyway, this is what he's comparing what we do to cows is this guy. I don't know if they're going to cut me off. This is from No Country for Old Men.
How much?
69 cents.
And the gas?
Y'all getting any rain?
The Animal Exploiter.
What weight would that be?
I seen you was from Dallas.
What business is it of yours? Where I'm from? Friendo?
I didn't mean nothing by it.
Didn't mean nothing.
Just passing the time. If you don't want to accept that, I don't know what else I can do for you. Will there be something else?
I don't know. Will there?
We still on? Looks like it.
Is something wrong?
With what?
With anything.
Is that what you're asking me? Is there something wrong with anything?
Will there be anything else?
You already asked me that.
I should check the...
Oh, well, I need to see about closing now.
See about closing?
Yes, sir.
What time do you close?
Now. We close now.
Now is not a time. What time do you close?
Generally around dark. At dark.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Sir?
I said, you don't know what you're talking about. What time do you go to bed?
Sir?
You're a bit deaf, aren't you? I said, what time do you go to bed?
Oh. Somewhere around 9:30. I'd say around 9:30.
I could come back then.
Why would you be coming back? We'll be closed.
Yeah, you said that.
Well, I got to close now.
You live in that house out back?
Yes, I do.
You lived here all your life?
This is my wife's father's place originally.
You married into it?
He's eating these. He's eating these edamame wasabis, I bet. Because it's like he just got hit by a wasabi blast.
We lived in Temple, Texas for many years.
A lot of these, by the way, are fine. You'll be eating them. It's going just fine. And then all of a sudden you grab one that's got a lot of wasabi or something and it blasts you. And then you got to stop the stream and you're crying a little bit.
Raised a family there in Temple. We come out here about 4 years ago.
You married into it.
That's the way you want to put it.
I don't have some way to put it. That's the way it is.
There's No Country for Old Men. If you were wondering what film this is, Kane, it's No Country for Old Men.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
Sir?
The most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
Call it.
Call it?
Yes.
For what?
Just call
it. Well, we need to know what we're calling it for here.
You need to call it. I can't call it for you. Well, it wouldn't be fair.
I didn't put nothing up.
Yes, you did. You've been putting it up your whole life. You just didn't know it. You know what date is on this coin?
No.
1958. It's been traveling 22 years to get here. And now it's here. And it's either heads or tails. And you have to say, call it.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
I don't remember what he calls. I'm going to call heads.
How's that?
You stand to win everything. Call it.
All right. Heads.
Wait. Okay, he called heads. What do y'all call? Alicia? Uh-oh. Zishan? Heads. Okay. Alicia's gone. Alicia. I mean, that wouldn't fly. Not with this guy. We lost some viewers. Did I get the warning? Hang on. I guess some people are just like, yeah, I don't want this spoiled for me. Hang on. I've got to look at my channel. Manage. I don't see a warning. It's all good. All right. What are y'all calling? Felix calls tails. Mary's not playing. That means she's gone. All right. Let's see how y'all did.
Well done. Don't put it in your pocket.
Sir?
Don't put it in your pocket. It's your lucky quarter.
Where you want me to put it?
Anywhere not in your pocket. Or it'll get mixed in with the others and become just a coin. Which it is.
So yeah, Felix, you're dead. Alicia's dead. Mary's dead. Oh man, we just lost a lot of good vegans. Oh man. All right, so anyway, that's what animal farmers do.
Torturing it is, because clearly you can experience pain. I don't think that's actually because it is a lower form of consciousness. I don't actually think that's a moral crime, right? Torturing it is because clearly you can experience pain. But are you vegan to the point of like even like a wonderfully raised cow to be killed? Like that's still wrong?
First of all, wonderfully raised. Like just educate yourself a little bit before you open your mouth. Try that. Try that first. Then have a YouTube channel.
Or is it just the factory farming stuff is bad?
assuming a cow is experiencing a very high quality of life, say the best quality of life a cow could experience, I would be less inclined to kill it because it's experiencing a really good life. Why would I want to end a creature's life that's experiencing a very good life? It's kind of like if again,
Excellent point, Richard.
if we were to analogize this to a human being, would you rather kill a human being that's living the best life possible? You know, billionaire, banging bitches, doing whatever they want, fast
Oh,
cars.
that's not the best life possible, but I get your point.
Or, well, yeah, sure. Or would you rather
probably a terrible
kill
life.
like a drug addict, homeless person?
It's a terrible life to be a billionaire banging bitches. Okay. All right then.
Constantly suffering, hungry, starving, cold all the time. So that would give me less of an incentive to kill the cow if it's experiencing a really good life. And
Sure.
I kind of understand your position with factory farming.
Toronto.
It is horrible, but where we differ is like this issue of, is it ever okay to take away an animal's life, regardless of how it's raised? Like again, the vegan position is there's no morally substantive difference between a human being and a cow. So if I'm not okay with killing, say,
Right.
a child for meat, like I could have a free range child, you know,
Free-range
lived
children.
like raise a child in the best
Sure.
circumstances, let him run around in his backyard, give him all the
Yeah,
toys.
so let me I'll ask,
It's not going to be okay to kill the child. So
yes, I understand that.
the challenge that you're going to have to face is coming up with crap. Where the hell's my? Oh, just give me a second.
This
I'm
happens
just
to all my
gonna-
guests. Masad does not like
Yeah,
these
so
conversations happening.
so what you're going to have to do is point out a morally substantive difference between a human being and a cow. So name the trait that's lacking in a cow that, if lacking in a human being, would justify killing the human being. Because if you could
Yeah.
find a human being that's trait equalized to a cow,
Yeah.
if you're a logically consistent, honest person,
Mm.
you'd have to be okay with killing the human being.
Well, this gets into an interesting dilemma where I don't think logical consistency is the measure by which something is true. It's not the only
Go ahead, squirm your way out of it.
measures, or certainly not the ultimate measure. So like there's certain presuppositions I just have. I believe humans are of greater moral consideration than cows.
Well,
And
you could
take that for
you can still feel that way and be vegan. Sorry, let me catch up with the chat. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything y'all asked or said or whatever.
that as an axiom for granted.
Well, okay, you could think that, but the reason you would think that is because there's some sort of trait difference between a human being.
Well, I'd put it in religious terms. I'm not extremely Christian, but I'm
fine.
Christian adjacent, where humans are made in the image of God and animals are not. And it says explicitly that humans were given dominion over animals. And I believe that's commensurate with the natural order of things.
I've never quite understood this. Humans are made in the image of God. Is that supposing that God is a two-legged being with two arms and stands upright, has hair, possibly has a beard? I mean, what does that mean? We all look different too. I like to joke that if I'm made in the image of God, then God is one ugly son of a bitch. But I mean, like, why would then humans be made in the image of? Wouldn't monkeys then be made in the image of God, since they're so similar to us? And why does the image, like, it's suggesting that how someone looks is what matters, and we reject that, obviously. And I know for a fact Well, I don't know this guy. I shouldn't say that. But I'm fairly certain that this guy would reject that we treat someone a certain way based on how they look, right?
This is like the abortion debate where it's like are you pro-life or pro-choice or? I mean, it's a
would
terrible
consider
dichotomy, but
myself. Yeah, I think if you were to analyze my viewpoint, I lean more to pro-choice.
okay. Because what the pro-life people would say, the people who say that life begins at conception, they would go, if not at conception, name the exact moment at which a zygote becomes a human being worthy of moral consideration. And I would say, I actually can't do that, but I don't need to be able to do that to tell you there's a difference. Just because I can know something without being able to articulate how I know it.
Well, there's a gray zone.
Exactly, yeah. And I would say that that's the problem that you think I have, and I would say I suppose I do have, which is I can't articulate clearly what is present in humans that's not present in animals that gives humans higher moral consideration.
Well, you haven't tried. You haven't engaged. And by not engaging, you're tacitly conceding that there isn't one. So maybe you ought to do that. Instead of trying to explain your way out of this by bringing in abortion, which, by the way, I know Richard's position on abortion is entirely consistent with his position. His position, which he's not, thankfully, not wasting time getting into, but I'll share it as I've seen him debate it, is that he's against abortion at the point that sentience forms. Which I can't remember which week he believes it is. Like there's studies about this.
It's the same problem you have if you compare, what is it, cows to insects. Like what is the trait in, I don't know, I'm a frog or whatever the least sentient creature that is still worthy of vegan moral protection. The creature right below that, like why is the cutoff there? Why is a wasp not worthy of, or a mealworm not worthy of moral consideration?
They are. He said sentience. He allowed that there is maybe some points where we don't consider sentience, like, for instance, if they are suffering. And then he even granted you more by saying perhaps there are life forms like a worm, which I believe he was referring to a worm, which I believe, as far as we understand, worms basically can experience light. You know, there's light here, there's not light here. I'm sure they can experience more than that. I don't go around killing worms either. I wouldn't kill a worm. Why would you kill a worm? Stop killing worms. Paul, stop killing worms. But where was I going with that? Oh, we've already answered the question. The line is sentience.
What's the trait that's inside of a cow that's not in a mealworm?
Well, I named the trait. It would be sentience with the ability to experience well-being.
How do you know that an insect can't experience well-being?
Well,
like a tarantula or something, like a pretty sophisticated insect.
Well, they probably
Zishan.
are able to. Like we.
Zishan, we're made in the image of God because we are as cruel as him. He sends tsunamis and earthquakes to kill us, and we kill all the animals. Yeah. We do need Steven in this chat. Where's Vegan Heretic? We need him. Are you hiding? Are you hiding in the chat, Steven? Where are you at?
Can't know another mind, but we can make a set of inferences.
I'm streaming a little early.
So if they have a brain, nervous system, nociceptors, you can also analyze their behavior, whether or not they're social creatures. You can look at some of their brain chemistry.
But why are we in the weeds so much? I just want to get to the...
whether or not like there's dopamine interactions with like certain activities. So you can make a series of inferences that let you make a more like kind of accurate assessment. I don't know if you're actually a conscious creature. You could be some like weird android
NPC.
that isn't actually like, you could be some AI creation by an alien. Like I have no idea, but I can make a series of inferences. Like,
Correct.
okay, well, there's a lot of people who say that your parents are these people and saw you be born, and you seem to, like, we can do an MRI scan of your body, like everything seems to be human.
Allegedly.
Like we can't know with 100% certainty that you are in fact human and you are
Sure.
conscious, but beyond any reasonable doubt, we can
Yes,
ascertain
but
that.
but what I'm asking is, because it does seem like there is a mealworm. I would say there's a reasonable doubt that it's conscious, even though a mealworm does have a nervous
Sure.
system. It does respond to stimuli and all that. And so it's like,
What? Then they're sentient. What? Wait, sorry, what did he
I
say?
would say there's a reasonable doubt that it's conscious, even though a mealworm does have a nervous
Sure.
system. It does respond to stimuli.
So he thinks that you can have a nervous system and not be conscious? That's a new one to me. Okay, whatever.
Stimuli and all that. And so it's like,
it also doesn't matter. We're not talking about mealworms. Just go vegan, dude. Stop. You'll have way more credibility to talk about the subject.
The non-vegan and the vegan have the same problem. They just draw the line in a different area, which is you draw the line somewhere between, I don't know, a mealworm and a tarantula, let's say, or like a daddy long legs. I don't know. Is a cricket? Are you okay with eating crickets?
No, he's answered this already, dude. Why is this guy? He answered sentience already, and now you're still struggling. So, okay, what, like, if you, oh my God. Guys, I am so tired of non-vegans. Why?
No.
What about mealworms, like mealworm protein?
Wait, what?
Eating cricket, let's say, or like a daddy long legs. I don't know. Is a cricket? Are you okay with eating crickets?
No.
What about mealworms, like mealworm protein?
No.
I don't know enough about mealworms. I'm against the idea of farming insects, period, whether they're sentient or not, for a variety of reasons.
For vegan moral reasons or separate reasons?
Well, even assuming they weren't sentient, there'd be separate reasons.
Okay. But I'm asking to use your vegan philosophy here to evaluate whether or not a mealworm, assuming the only consideration was the moral vegan consideration.
Yeah, sure.
Mealworms, yes or no?
I don't know enough about mealworms.
Okay.
Like, if you were to ask me about
what is the point of this? What
some alien creature that we discovered, like, I don't know.
can we just talk? Let's just, okay. Instead of going to mealworms, why don't we go to the animals that you eat? Chickens, cows, pigs, fish, I assume. Let's just talk about those animals then.
Know enough. If it turned out mealworms were not sentient,
yeah,
and like, do they like, are they like butterflies where they evolve into?
No,
a
I'm
more
sorry. I mean, okay,
creature,
I mean, like a regular worm. Like, how about a regular worm that you see like in the
Aaron
lawn?
P., you did this to me. To be fair, Aaron said, "Did you watch that vegan gains debate the other day? Seemed like a waste of time." But then, Aaron, you told me to feature it on my channel. This is your doing. Let's all blame Aaron P. All right. What did you do, Aaron P? By the way, did we get him to 400? We shall still reward him. Let's see where we're at. 399. Come on, who's going to be the 400th? Let me put it in there. Somebody sub to Aaron P right now. Do it. I don't care. I don't care if you want to consume the content or not. Just be number 400. Just do it. Comply. comply with my demands.
That comes out when it rains. You can cut into two and it still lives.
I'm not sure if they're sent. I don't know. I don't know if they have a brain or not.
Okay, but that's exactly how I feel about cows in terms of not that they're sentient, but that they're sentient enough for me to give them moral consideration.
Okay,
you already have conceded that you give them moral consideration by treating, in your view, it's fine to treat them well. So no, you've already contradicted yourself. And we've only been talking for 14 minutes. You've already contradicted yourself, and we haven't even really discussed veganism. It's been pathetic 14 minutes of filibuster, and you've already flopped.
So, are you okay with people like killing and eating their pet dogs?
No, I think that's
okay.
yeah,
Well,
but
I don't see it. I don't see
because for different
a
reasons,
big cognitive difference between dogs and cows.
Like I'm against people having sex with dead bodies for reasons that are separate from you're not harming the dead body. I don't think humans should have sex with animals either. Not because it's like, well, the animal can't consent. It's like, well, we killed the fucking animal, so clearly that's not the issue. It's a crime against nature, is how I would frame it.
Crime against nature. Okay,
well,
the mental gymnastics we're on right now.
I think it just simply grosses you out, and there's also
part of
other behavioral things associated with that.
That's true.
That
That's part of it.
clearly creates moral issues.
Right.
But
that's why I'm like, you shouldn't be able to kill your own dog. But a cow, especially if you raise the cow, in an open pasture.
Right. And if I raise my dog.
Aaron P 400. Let's go. Let's go.
Dog in an open pasture, he gets walks and gets to run off leash every day. What's the issue with killing the dog?
Well, to be honest, I mean, they do that in where? Korea or something, right?
Yeah, Korea, China, Philippines.
I mean,
I actually learned recently a lot of people in Switzerland eat dogs. It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't actually think it's. I think if it. There's interesting a pet. Like a pet is I believe a pet is a legal category, right? Like there's like a legal definition for pet, like something you have guardianship over, blah, blah, blah. So that but I don't, in principle, like a dog and a cow and a pig are all equally intelligent. If people raise dogs, to be honest, if you had to give me a choice between, hey, Paul, you could press a button and you get rid of all the factory farming, but what ends up happening is people start eating dogs, but the dogs are raised like in wonderful pastures their whole lives, and then they're just killed painlessly. I'd be like, that's probably.
Dude wants to get rid of factory farming, but doesn't want to stop eating animals. So tell me, Paul, how are you going to feed 8 billion people meat without factory farming? Can you explain that to me, Paul? Huh? Have you thought about it, PF Young?
Probably a better, all things considered, because the dog gets to run around and live its whole wonderful life, and then Javier Bardem at the end.
Well, you brought up an interesting point. Like you said, well, a dog is a pet; it's a separate category. But then you mentioned there's not really any substantial difference between a dog and a cow. Like they're different species, but in terms of like intelligence, sentience, the qualities you care about, there's not really any difference. So this differentiation between is it okay to kill a dog and is it okay to kill a cow has nothing to do with any fact about the creature.
Right.
You're talking about like some weird social standard.
It's about us. Great point, Richard.
Where we just have a social standard where it's not okay to kill a dog.
Yep.
So
I'm telling you,
you're talking about.
Well, I'm going beyond that social, because I'm telling you, I'm okay with that. Like I am okay in theory, with, if people are going to eat dogs or if people are going to eat cows or pigs, like, yeah, as long as they're being raised properly, I'm not going to say that like what the Koreans are doing.
Why didn't he address the point that Richard made about, if they were actually happy animals, then why would we take their life from them? And wouldn't that be actually worse? Well, of course, he can't address that point.
The Swiss are doing is like a barbaric practice. I'd go, oh, that's kind of
like that's a bigger betrayal. You can argue it's a shitty argument. I get this, But you can argue that animals, the vast majority of which are living in factory farms that are eventually killed, that it's almost a mercy killing at that point because their lives have been nothing but suffering. So, yeah, I mean, so why didn't he engage on that point? I think I know the answer. It's because it would have led him to veganism. And people are scared to be led to veganism for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's some kind of weird insecurity thing, but whatever it is, get over it, Paul.
Okay.
Odd, but I'm aware that it's, you know, part of my cultural
Right,
upbringing.
and if there was like a culture of humans, like say they're raising kids in China
Yeah,
for
there you
meat.
go.
I don't. There is a difference between an animal and a dog.
So yes.
Yeah. So name it.
So let's explore that difference.
And real quick,
So-
just sorry on that last point. People have pet rats. I'm
Yeah.
okay with people putting rat traps in their house. There's no inconsistency there.
Yes, there is. There's huge inconsistency. Because now you're putting what? There's no, so now you're talking about, no, you did have a problem with people killing dogs, but you don't have a problem with people killing rats, even though they're pets. So now, yeah, you've contradicted yourself again, dude. This is so bad. I can see why this is only going to go for another 10 minutes. I wonder how this ends. Being logically consistent does not mean you're right. Interesting. So here are these things. I haven't done the channel. I need to probably need to start doing that for my long interviews, like breaking them down into parts.
Well, I don't see how that
That would require work and work.
Pet is a personal, like the reason I'm connected to a dog is because I have a personal connection with it. And the reason I like other dogs is because I see my personal connection with that dog in other dogs.
Right.
Right. So again, it's all about you. Again, this all comes back to a Paul-centric worldview where Paul's the center of the universe and we all just revolve around Paul.
People also have roommates. If somebody barges in your house, like, and without your permission, it's okay to shoot and kill them. Like there's no inconsistency there.
Right.
So it's the same with a rat. Like if you have a pet rat, but then you have like
nice, it's an
some
intruder.
invading
That's actually a good way to do it. I'm vegan, but the rat was intruding on my house, so I shot him. That's fair. I just think there are like you said, we make inferences. We have these intuitions about consciousness. There's something about a human that is categorically different than an animal. My inability to put it into exact words and to put it out.
Well, you haven't tried.
A logical list does not mean it's not.
Because to engage with this, you see that there's an endpoint that leads you down the vegan path, and you don't want to go down that path, so you're refusing to even try it. Maybe you should try it.
Real, or that I'm not pointing to something real.
I can help you along in the conversation to help you do that, but like if you're gonna admit there's like no difference that you can really name, no meaningful difference that you can kind of point to where, well, this is, obviously why it's okay to kill a cow, but it's not okay to kill a human being. And you're just going to end up telling me, I don't know, it just feels okay to me.
No, it's not, I wouldn't admit that. I would acknowledge that because that's just simply the fact. It's the same way that it's the same way that you are able.
I wouldn't admit it. I just acknowledge it. Okay.
Able to differentiate between the color blue and the color red. Right? You just look at it and it's a.
So, by the way, this has already been I mean, you could argue it's been a destruction or a self-destruction, but this guy has completely flopped. And Richard has won this debate. I'm very curious to go down below after this to see what the comments read.
Quality of thing. You can't put words to it. At some point, if you have a color spectrum, blue shades into red, and in the middle it's purple. But just because you can't say, well, exactly at what point, tell me the moment, the exact line at which this qualia is now categorically
Well,
different.
sure, I understand that.
Yeah, and
There's
that's how I would
morally
apply
gray
it to animals.
situations,
Yeah.
but like the point I'm making is, if you're not really able to construct like a good argument,
Yeah.
but then you're going to like just say, well, I kind of feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
It like if I were to
Not
tell you
good.
that when it came to like killing people, well,
Yeah.
you know, like there's a difference between like black and white people. Can't really tell you exactly what the difference is, but you know, I just feel like it's okay to kill black people. Like you wouldn't accept that
Correct.
as
I
like
would
a
not accept that.
standard
I
for
think
committing violence.
correct. I
So
would not
I
accept
think
that.
you do
You would not accept that, but you do accept that for animals. That's called speciesism.
to some degree have to like make some sort of like accurate framework and point out, you know, morally substantive difference between these creatures. So like
No, I don't
again,
think
just
so. I reject that you need to have a logically coherent, excuse me,
I reject. No, that was great. Don't rephrase that. That was perfect. Perfectly put, Paul. I reject that you have to have a logically coherent position. Perfect. Perfect encapsulation of the Carnus mindset.
logically consistent explanation for something that is fundamentally
Consistent. You are better with coherent. You are inconsistent. You're also not coherent. Paul.
a qualia. We're entering the realm of qualia and consciousness and sentience. These are not things that can be articulated into words. So the idea that we need to have
Yes, they can. The fact that you can't just shows that you haven't thought about this. Maybe you might think about it. Can be very easily articulated. And I think that Richard already did that.
we need to
Right at the beginning, by the way. Right at the very, very, very beginning, he articulated it. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe he's just smarter than you. Could be.
apply the rules of logic and logical
well, they can be
consistency to
articulated.
evaluate. You can't articulate qualia.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, describe
How?
what it's like to see the color red without describing it at using other qualia as a reference point.
Well, like, is that the reason you're okay with killing cows? Because
Yes,
cows
because
can't perceive the color red?
Here's what I'll tell you. No. In the same way that I can look at the color blue and I can look at the color red and instantly tell the difference, there's something about the qualia of blue and the qualia of red that are fundamentally different, even though I can't exactly articulate the logic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they use, dogs to go sniff out bodies. And, like the dog has different senses than you do. They can determine things that you can't determine, right? They can see things that you can't, hear things that you can't, smell things that you can't. Does that mean that we should just kill you? Because that's sort of the logic that you're using. But, oh, right. It doesn't matter if you're logically consistent or not because you're Paul. And the world revolves around Paul. So logical consistency or coherence doesn't matter in the world of Paul. P.F. Young.
Explanation for why these are different. They appear to me in my sense data as fundamentally different. That's exactly how I view animals and people. There's something about human beings and there's something about animals that are so obviously fundamentally different. And my inability to articulate the exact logical, what you said, tell me the exact trait that's
we keep on coming across people like, who was it last time? What was his name? Dean? Was that it? Dean? People who love their own voice. What was his? It was the guy that Jade for Justice owned.
Present in humans, that's not present in animals. I can't do it for blue and red. What's present in blue that's not present in red? It's like, I don't know. It's not lightness or darkness.
But like again, if we were talking about like rather than killing animals, we're talking about killing black people, and I give you that same argument. I can't tell you the difference between like
it would
red
be a
and
bad
blue.
argument. Yeah. Or sorry, that's not an argument then.
So you're admitting you're
Yes. Oh my god.
Like if we were talking about, like, rather than killing animals, we're talking about killing black people, and I give you that same argument, I
Yeah.
can't tell you the difference between, like,
'Cause it would be
red
a
and
bad
blue.
argument. Yeah.
I'm not gonna drop it, but that's the mic drop moment right there.
Or sorry, that's not an argument.
Wait,
Then.
So you're admitting you're
no. Don't listen to what I just said. Oh shit. Oh shit.
like if we're using this to justify killing billions and billions of sentient beings, like, you're on very, very shaky ground.
No. Because that would the equivalent would be if I tell you there's a difference between blue and red, and then everyone in the world hears me and they go, "Yep, that's true," because there's the color blue and there's the color red. But if I point to you two shades exactly the same color,
this, by the way, is why most people don't debate Richard, because he destroys everybody he debates. Everybody he debates gets roasted. And by the way, Richard just become like way more chill and calm. He used to get real heated in debates, and now, I mean, oh my god.
Say this is red and this is red. Excuse me, I say this is red and this is green, even though they're both red. Everyone would go, no. It's like I'm using the same sense mechanisms there. And what you're pointing out is, well, you can't make the argument using sense data, because if I can just say, well, look, blue and red are so obviously different, I could just do the same thing with red and say that these are obviously different.
But
it's like, no, you
this is
could.
how you know you've lost the thread. When you start talking about, oh, I know blue is blue, and you know red is red, but I don't know if you know red is the same red as me. How do I know if the red that you see is not my blue? Like, fuck off, dude. Who's calling?
Because people would look at it and their sense data would tell you otherwise. And so, like, the idea that, well, I'm using this line of argumentation to say there's an obvious difference between humans and animals, and you're saying, well, if I go by that, I can say there's an obvious difference between white and black people. And I would go, you could say that, but no one would agree with you, because white and black people and people of all races are still human beings, and there's something fundamentally different between a human.
Okay, and human beings and animals, they're all still animals, and there's something fundamental. Shut the fuck up, Paul. Delete your fucking channel. God, I can't stand shitty people like this. Fucking 30,000 people watch this bullshit. God. Thank you, Brandon. Hell yeah. I'm not a vegan, but at this point, it's more weakness, hypocrisy on my part than disagreement. I don't have a rebuttal to Gaines' arguments. I'm not vegan, but PF literally ended the debate by explicitly abandoning logic, thus losing any and all debate topics indefinitely. Oh, he got roasted. Look at all these comments. I'm not a vegan or anything, and I generally hold the same axiom as you, but the thought that kind of scares me when I try to justify it is the possibility of a higher level organism making the same judgments about us. Wow, what a thought, Jimmy Jazz. Wow. With all due respect, Vegan Gains came out of this as the winner. Paul, my dude, if all farming was grass-fed and moral, we'd have to institute meat rationing and treat meat like he's getting annihilated by non-vegans. I will say Vegan Games was fairly convincing. Pretty weak position, the qualia, and rejecting the value of logically consistent worldview is a pretty weak position. Vibes-based argumentation due to please think a bit more critically. Saying you don't have to be logically consistent while in a debate is frustrated base manifesting as cringe. Guys, this guy thinks that he managed to disentangle the name the trait meme. Wow. Vegan Games is annoying as fuck, but he is smart and his arguments are well thought out. PF wasn't ready. Unbelievable. This guy, it's not just us that thinks he lost. It's his own fucking viewers, guys. He got wrecked. We're not even at the end.
Being an animal. Now, I think people can be conditioned to view that in the same way that people can, be conditioned to be psychopaths and all that, or act like psychopaths. But I don't know. I think in a functioning moral society, there's a difference.
That's just an appeal to popularity. Like just because other
real
people.
Quick, Richard. W, Richard. Well done already. It's not even over. You destroyed this shit.
I agree with you. So we're just
an
talking
appeal
about
to popularity, and that's appeal to common sense?
No, that's an appeal to popularity. Like just
Okay,
because somebody. Well, look, there was a time in history where black.
It's really weird watching this guy because I know a guy who looks exactly like this guy, exactly like him. Oh my god, it's uncanny. It is uncanny.
People were seen as a completely different class of human that weren't deserving of human rights.
Correct.
So if we were to have this conversation in like the 1700s, there'd be a lot of people, probably most people in the United States, who'd say, well, yeah, why would we give black people human rights?
I agree. And do you think that a
So
logically
would that be a justification to enslave black people?
No.
So that's a great point. And Paul, he can't handle it. Well, let's see how he tries to handle it.
Because, well, it's just common sense. Everybody agrees.
Right.
Do you think that if you presented those people with a logically coherent argument, they would change their mind about black people?
That doesn't matter. Now he's appealing to like whether or not the argument is convincing to dumbasses like them. You're admitting you're a dumbass. Like, oh, like you're admitting that you're like that. So essentially what Paul has conceded to, and I agree, is that Paul would have been that person during slavery, during whatever thing that was going on, to stand by and go with the flow. And what an incredibly cowardly position to be in. But he just admitted it.
They may or may not, if they're intellectually honest.
I don't think they would. That's
which you're not, Paul. It's a direct line. You don't understand it? You don't see that you just admitted that? You are that person? Paul, what's going on up here? You seem like you can form sentences. You seem like reasonably articulate. What is going on? Paul. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe it's the first time he's even broached the topic.
It's the issue. People are not convinced by most people are not convinced by logical argumentation. They're convinced by other epistemic mechanisms, usually imitating people that they admire.
Look at all these big words he's trying to use. Epistemic.
So if someone of high status and high, regard said, actually,
it's not
hey,
my fault. Everyone's an idiot. But
it's your fault for not adapting to that reality.
This is why I love Richard. I love Richard. It's not my fault. Everybody's an idiot.
There's two ways to look at it. Everyone's stupid and I'm right, or you're stupid for not adapting to the fact that not everyone thinks the same way.
No. Read your comment. Read your comment section, buddy. Check out what your own viewers have to say about you.
As you do.
Well, look.
Which, by the way, I recognize that comment sections are not the place to get factual, analysis from. However, it is quite telling in this case.
We were arguing about whether or not the Earth was flat, and I said,
Yeah.
like, no, it's clearly round. Look at all the evidence. And then,
Yeah.
you know, they appealed, well, it's common sense. I mean, everyone thinks it's flat.
Yeah, but then you're stupid, Richard, for not adapting to the common sense view that the Earth is flat. Isn't that what Paul just said? And that makes you an idiot. That even though you're right, it's you're dumb for not adapting. What?
And
when I go outside, it looks pretty flat to me.
It's like, read the Bible. It says it's flat in the Bible. Are you saying God's wrong? Like, how am I going to adjust to like their line of thinking when this is like an issue of just descriptive facts?
Right.
I can't adjust to that.
Correct.
So like,
nor do you need to. Just be right. Just be the one that's right. Doesn't matter if you're the only one saying it. Didn't people get like thrown on the stake for suggesting things like this? I mean, that sucks, but yeah, we look back at them as the correct ones, obviously.
We're
so then the question is why maybe you should consider alternative routes than just arguing with people.
You're the one with the channel. He's on your channel debating you. I assume that this is what you do. Maybe not. I don't know. I have no interest in this guy's channel, so we're not going to look and see what he does. But it seems to me that this is set up for debates. Hence, Richard being on your channel. Am I missing something?
Well, you agreed to have a debate with me, and
well, no,
I'm
happy to talk.
Yeah, so
I'm not a debate
bro. So we're not. It's not a debate. Got it.
Yeah, so if you have a set of moral standards,
what the fuck?
The one moral standard that I think we both agree on is that humans should have rights. You know, humans shouldn't be murdered, tortured, raped, stolen from.
I don't know about Dota players though.
Now he's fucking derailing. Pathetic.
But yes.
Well, we could make some exceptions. But
agreed.
Yeah, so the difference here, I extend those rights to animals, you don't.
Correct.
Now, I'm making the claim that there's no morally substantive difference between a human and at least animals that are sentient and have the level of sentience where they can
We
experience
don't even need to go there. Just animals. We can go with that.
well-being.
Yeah.
That's the kind of, the bottom line. Now, you're claiming, no, there is a morally substantive difference.
But
that's why it's okay to kill
but
animals.
I can't.
But I'm unable to articulate
Name the
exactly
difference.
what that is. I can't. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Okay. It means that your actions are based on like emotion or something. Like you've just it's weird because I've definitely seen people do worse in debates in terms of like style, but I don't know if I've seen someone on the substance do worse. Like this is bad. This is a really bad performance in a debate. It doesn't get worse.
Well, you
Does
are.
it?
I think you're just unwilling to because you're afraid it's going to lead to a logical contradiction.
I'm definitely not afraid of logical contradictions. I don't believe that logical consistency is the ultimate metric for
Then try naming the trait.
truth claims.
Try it. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
As I stated with the
I don't know what
qualia,
you mean.
when you're evaluating
I don't know what
qualia,
you mean truth claim. We're talking about your own moral values.
That's fair. We can perhaps, because I do have a bunch of people that are in line that I do need to get to. This is a fundamental difference on how we approach this conversation. I don't believe it is necessary to have a logically consistent
Yo, what's up, Steven?
worldview for it to still correspond to reality. You can be logically inconsistent and still correspond to reality.
You absolutely need to have a logically consistent worldview.
Okay, the next time we talk, we can discuss that. But I do
okay.
gotta move on.
Do you think the Earth can both be flat and round at the same time?
I'm telling you, if I look outside, it looks pretty flat to me, and I still believe it's round.
God, that was bad. That was so bad, guys. Oh my God. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah. Maybe you had to pee like I have to pee. I got to put something on so that y'all don't leave me. Because that's my greatest fear, is that y'all will leave me. I'll come back and there will be nobody left. I fear that. I fear that. So don't do that to me, guys. Here's another channel that Mel and Steve had promoted, Matthew Kittle. And I realized it doesn't matter if they have more than the 50 subs, we should promote them anyway. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Wait, it's let me not leave y'all with that. That's sad. Let me let's get Matthew. Let's get Matthew the Jeremy bump. Okay. Here, I'll leave y'all with Jade.
You decided to go vegan a few days ago after we chatted. So, how is that going for you?
It's going fine. Here I'm eating. Here in my country, I'm eating a lot of rice, a lot of beans, a lot of tomatoes, lettuce. I don't know in English the name of the other foods. I like. Yes, that's for now. Beets, carrots. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can remember by now.
Awesome.
Oh, also apples, bananas, oranges, all types of stuff.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. Great to hear. Yeah, it's easy, right? When you think about it from the victim's perspective, it's easy. There's hundreds of thousands of edible plant foods.
Yes, and the plants are also really great to do medicine, natural medicine.
Yeah.
Do you think that animals have feelings?
I know that animals have feelings. You know, like, I think it's very obvious that they have feelings. Like, when the cows are separated from their babies on the dairy farms, they bellow for each other for days, weeks, like yearning for each other. You can hear it, you can see it in their face. You know, when they're being sent to slaughter, they are filled with fear, you know, and they're like trying to get away, and you can see the fear in their eyes. When they're living a good life, when they're happy, you can tell that they're happy. When they're calm, you can tell that they're calm. Yes, other animals definitely have feelings.
Do you also like to watch videos of animals being happy? I watched one that they were playing jazz music to cows, and the cows come running to hear, and they were all gathered at the place they were keep, and they all were so giving so much attention listening to music, like they.
That's nice.
Did you see that type of video?
I've seen videos of that. Yeah, animals love, or some animals love music. Not all animals love music, but you know, like before I started doing activism, I was staying on this farm that actually kind of pushed me to start doing activism because I could see the injustice on this farm, but I would play music for the animals, and some of the animals really liked to listen to me play. Some of them had no interest, but like the sheep especially loved listening to
What I miss?
me play music, and they would come up to me and like sit quietly and listen. There was one goat that
There's a link to the video. Did I miss anything good?
really liked to listen to me play. A few of the other goats didn't really care that much. The donkey that was there didn't really care that much, but some of the animals really loved to hear me play music, and that was so nice.
I wonder if in part of your love for animals, do you also like to be next to them, like, for example, I don't know, holding them, being close to them, giving them food, giving them milk. Like those baby bottles. Sometimes when the animal is really small, people give milk in their mouths. Do you like this part that is really like holding them, being next to them?
Well, the
For
place
next
that the
vid.
babies need to get the milk is from their mother. If they're drinking milk from a bottle,
If y'all have any recommendations for what to watch, send them my way.
it means that they're not with their mother. So, that's not optimal. Sometimes that's just the situation, that's just the way it is. Like you find a baby on the street and you don't know where their mother is and they need help. But, on farms, the reason that it's happening is because they're taking the babies away from their mother to sell the milk. But, caring directly for animals, I think it's a very kind and compassionate thing to do. I am not extremely passionate about it. I think it's important, but I'm not extremely passionate about it. I'm more passionate about raising awareness and trying to connect with other people and getting people to realize that exploiting the animals is wrong. I don't think I could live on an animal sanctuary right now. I would rather focus my energy on raising awareness about animal exploitation than directly caring for the animals. But both jobs are extremely important. I actually considered moving on to an animal sanctuary and then like not paying rent and just only working with the animals and like working to
No
help.
problem. Veganism for all. We have featured a lot of Jade lately, and I'm not caught up on this video, so let me switch gears here. Some of y'all have recommended this channel. I think it's While I've Been Gaming, but this is Has Vegan, and let's do this. Okay, watch this next. Oh wait. Okay, I'll do yours next. Kane Has Vegan. Let's check this out.
Another stream. I see Jeremy in the chat here. I see Martin in the chat. Thanks for being here, guys.
That was a different Jeremy. That wasn't me. Who's out there being an imposter? Jeremy.
Another stream. I see Jeremy in the
It might have been me, but I don't think it was me.
chat here. I see Martin in the chat. Thanks for being here, guys. Today's is going to be a little bit of a quicker one, but yeah, it's weird weather. It's like windy and it's hot, and I'm sweaty, and won't get into more detail, but it'll be a quick one. So let me go ahead and just get started while I'm here.
Chicago?
Pretty busy out today.
Hey, Mary, you here? According to Felix, this is Chicago.
So nothing fancy today. I'll just kind of keep it punchy and quick. Got the sign, come participate in a social experiment.
Do that. Do that.
whoever is here.
We're here. We're all here. We're all here. Has.
Do my best to make it worth your while.
I'm running dangerously low on wasabi edamame again, as well as Waterloo. It's gotten flat, but it's okay.
With the simple prompt, just introducing myself and what I do. Defending animals' rights.
Could find you. But Chicago's a big city.
Hopefully it sparks some good conversation. I'm trying to just kind of go live more often when I have some time here and there. Got some lookers, but no takers yet. So if you're just getting here, no one has stopped by yet.
Let's skip ahead.
Got some awkward eye contact, some smiles, but no for the support. Hello. Well, it's a surprise. Are you okay to be live on my YouTube channel? Yeah. Okay. Would you mind coming a little closer into the frame here, just so we're on screen? Yeah. Perfect. So, my name is Haz. What's your name?
Sophia.
Sophia. Cool. That's a nice name. So, and are you over 18? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm an animal rights activist, and today I'm asking people what rights they think animals deserve. What would you say?
That's interesting. I haven't. Most of the people I've seen doing these street outreach live streams and stuff don't tell people that they're an animal activist right off the bat. See how that changes things.
Rights they deserve. I mean,
maybe it won't. Maybe it won't.
Deserve rights as sentient beings.
Oh, sentient. Okay.
They are sentient, but I think there's levels of consciousness, right? So there's self-awareness, which is what makes us.
Everybody's got that British accent too. But we're in Chicago?
Conscious as humans, and then there's not self-awareness. There's also, I guess,
not self-awareness. This is a good opportunity for me to practice.
Like kind of time perception and kind of perception of other species. So whether animals can tell that they are different from other animals. So I feel like it's really hard. I feel like
It's really hard. It's really hard.
I don't want to categorize rights as such, but like there are definitely categories of sentience and consciousness, and I think maybe rights can be in line with that, because I would love to say like animals deserve all the rights.
Sorry about the wind. It just is what it is. It's not me breathing on the mic, I promise.
Humans have, but then I think of like an ant, and it's like, how can you even give an ant all those rights that you can't, you know?
Yeah. So let me share a personal story. So there was a pigeon a couple weeks ago, I think, who was trapped inside of like a bridge tower here, and I could see that pigeon was trapped. And I tried everything I could, contacting various entities. Ultimately, to my knowledge, nobody rescued that pigeon. And along the way, I got a lot of people kind of like discouraging me about the likelihood of anyone actually helping.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that in that case that pigeon had a right to?
It depends on how much would need to be sacrificed in terms of human resource.
Well, just the person unlocking the door, going up there and saying, "Here you go, little buddy."
I mean, I'd like to think that that is something that would be, that someone would, has the keys to that would be like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Equally, I think on a higher level, it's like the philosophical problem. Do you like turn the tram? You know, the tram's going to hit 3 people, or it's going to hit 1 person. Do you change it?
Yeah.
I feel like the people at the top are making those decisions are thinking, okay, I've got a certain amount of resources for city maintenance, blah, blah, blah. Is this pigeon a good use of my resources and time? And I think sometimes there is a difficulty in that we have partiality towards other humans rather than different species. That's just how we are as human beings.
Yeah. So I guess like when it comes to suffering, sometimes we can maybe justify something's happening. Like, you know, when we grow crops, for example, we harvest them, some amount of collateral damage happens when we harvest them, whether we're talking.
That's true. It is the Windy City.
About ants, moles, voles, whatever in the ground. But we justify it on the basis of needing to eat to survive. I'm wondering if you're familiar with the concept of negative rights.
negative rights. So it's describing someone's rights as not what they deserve, but what they do not deserve, kind of.
That's one way to say it. Yeah, like for example, like the right not to be enslaved or the right not to be oppressed in various ways.
Yeah.
So when we talk about like the rights that an ant, for example, would be entitled to, I guess, or the rights that like a pigeon or a human would be entitled to, I think there's this idea of like need, kind of like practicality. For example, like a pigeon in that situation would actually have a need to get out of that situation, whereas like if there was an ant in that building, they might have less of a need, they might be able to survive. When it comes to other species of animals besides humans, I like to think more in terms of negative rights, like
so
rights.
like they have the right to not have their liberty infringed upon. They get to go about their business.
Yeah, to live
while
free
we
from
get-
human
yeah. I agree with that.
intervention.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
it's difficult to achieve.
yeah. Do you think that in your personal life there's anything you could do to live more in line with that?
So much. Yeah. I mean, I can stop eating meat, for one. I think there's a lot everyone can do. Yeah, we can stop eating meat. We can, I don't know, when you see a spider, take it outside. I don't know, what would you suggest?
Yeah, and I would say even like the idea of viewing other animals as it instead of a he or a she, I think is part of the problem. I think when we look at other beings with appreciation for their sentience, as you mentioned, they're sentient beings, that totally opens us up to this idea of bestowing personhood upon other animals. And I see other animals as persons in the sense that we are individuals who have a subjective experience. They're able to, like, when you think about kind of what you enjoy about your life, I would venture to guess that it's the ability to experience different things. You know, it kind of all ties down. Even wisdom is gained through experience, whether it's just even learning something or actually experiencing something. So
it's nice to think of the idea of an animal having their own experience, not infringing on their experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just honifying them always.
Yeah, and even like concepts like meat, for example, like I would say maybe eating animals instead of eating meat.
Sure.
Yeah. It's an objectification.
No, that's true. It's different. We've been trained to think of a certain perspective as normal, but it's only a short distance to start questioning like how we speak about things and thinking, wow, that's actually barbaric. Like it's very easy to go
Even
there.
the term barbaric, I believe that meant like non-Roman or non-Greek or something like that. People from like Barbaros or something like it's like people who were from like Barbaros or something like that in the past were called barbaric. And then that term spread
so
about.
it's almost like a racist thing.
Yeah,
so like
even the term.
She's just kind of mostly agreeing here. Maybe that's a new vegan, right?
Cannibal is stemming from the word like Caribbean, like from Caribbean type people. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so these terms, it's really important, I think, to question them and use of language. Have you ever considered not eating animals?
Yeah, I did for a while.
You did consider, or you did?
I did not eat animals for a while. I had some eating disorder health issues, so I ended up going back to non-restrictive diets. But it's not something I'd be opposed to in the future, for sure.
What do you think would be standing in your way, like health things aside? The main reasons that people give for continuing to exploit animals is like convenience.
Convenience and price. Yeah, it's very expensive at the moment. I mean, obviously you can eat just vegetables, but I guess if you want to go the meat substitute route, and if you want to go out with friends, I think it's like social interactions are all surrounding food. A lot of travel surrounds food. Where different, like if I was to go to Italy, for example.
I haven't been to Chicago in a little while. I do also like Chicago. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Having different like meats and cheeses and things, I feel like that's quite part of the experience.
Are you from England, by the way?
I am, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, London, for example. I don't know how close you are to there, but it's like
I live in London.
Okay, I mean that's like
it's super easy to eat.
Yeah, it's like one of the vegan capitals of the world.
Like vegetarian and vegan, that for sure.
Yes, but you know, I guess
Toronto also.
I would ask you the difficulty that you would incur going vegan would eclipse the difficulty that these individuals would occur if they were to be subjected to your choices of exploiting them. Basically.
The answer is no. The answer is the inconvenience is not comparable to me.
It sounds like you have your values in order then.
I do, but people's values don't always line up with their actions, I guess.
Yes.
Exactly. But all you got to do is do that. She seems cool. I feel like she'll be vegan. Let's hope. But in any case, Haas has already done a nice job.
We are weak-willed species.
I don't know if it has so much to do with will. I mean, I appreciate your candor. I think it has to do a little bit with this idea of cognitive dissonance. And when it gets to a certain point, when a person's really clear about what their values are, I think that then it just becomes a matter of aligning that action with your values. The hardest thing is just getting strong enough on your why. Once you're strong enough on that, the how is easy as.
And disciplining yourself on those to stick to your values, maybe.
Maybe I would really posit that the discipline required is actually a lot less than you think. So once it hits your heart, I think you really don't need to be convinced any further. I think it's one thing to be logically somewhere mentally, which is definitely important, but then there's the other half of that, which is being emotionally convicted to the point where you actually say like, okay, I'm not going to follow orders anymore. I'm done listening to these justifications.
Yeah.
This is not rational. This
Be a rebel.
no place in a modern civilized society. I know you're with a friend, and I don't want to hold you up too much. So
Yeah, no, I do probably have to go.
yeah, sure. So I just like to give you some
Hometown, eh?
information. So this is from a place called Vegan Outreach, and it's just a little bit of information about kind of the choice of not using or exploiting animals. And I do appreciate the honesty with which you engaged. It's actually very refreshing in light of a lot of the conversations that I have. So Sophia, thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
And there's an amazing activist actually he's from England, I believe, named Earthling Ed Winters. If you've ever heard of him.
No, I haven't.
Okay, yeah, he's.
Oh wow, she hasn't. Yeah, she she's gonna be vegan because she just hasn't even engaged with vegan anything. It sounds like.
He's very well known in the veganosphere. He wrote a book called "This Is Vegan Propaganda." If you want to check that out, I think that would be amazing too. Yeah. And then I think there's also a documentary called "Land of Hope and Glory," which I think pertains to factory farming in the UK, I believe.
Really? Okay. Let me write that down. And what was your name?
I'm Haas.
Haas. Is that your TikTok name?
She's cool.
This is actually YouTube. And the channel.
And I mean, her British accent is on point. It's very similar to how mine is.
It's called Haas Vegan. So yeah, so it's one word, HAZ Vegan.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for the conversation.
Yeah, and
it's really interesting.
if you're looking for vegan restaurants or options and stuff like that, especially in this area, there's so many. So just a quick Apple Maps or Google Maps search, and you can find a bunch too. So you can kind of start putting your values into action. Yeah. It sounds like you have your values aligned. It's just a matter of getting there. And one last question before I let you go. Ideally, how many more animals would you want to be exploited or killed in your name before you go?
Well, if you put it like that, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that going vegan would be further or closer to that goal? To that ideal?
Oh, it'll be closer, yeah.
Closer, yeah. There you go.
There you go. That is very
Only
powerful.
you can hold yourself accountable. I can only kind of like get you to think or reflect maybe if you're willing to engage thoughtfully, which you have been. So the rest is totally up to you.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Awesome.
Have a good one. Appreciate it. Bye.
Wow.
Bye.
That I mean, you did great, Haas, but that was an easy one. Let's just be real. That was a layup. She made that easy, but you did great. You did.
All right. That was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did plan on making this a short one, so I'm going to go ahead and actually call it here. But I'm glad that I was able to at least have that conversation. And yeah, Lewis says I'm fairly hopeful about her going vegan. I am too. I genuinely am.
Yeah.
So thanks for everybody who tuned in.
Me too. I think she's already like morally vegan. She just was like, I just should have done it. What do you mean we lost Lewis? Did we really? There's a video. Make sure you're subbed to Haas Vegan and tell him what a great job he did. That was awesome. All right, let me scroll back to Kane's recommendation. God, I've got a lot of tabs up. I've got freaking No Country for Old Men on there. Lewis was number 1. Let's see. Oh boy. The following content may contain graphic or violent imagery. What are you doing to me, Kane? Another 269 gem. Kane. Getting me in trouble, Kane. We'll make this the last video. So if this gets me banned, we all know who to blame. But it's the last vid. Just remember to blame Kane for whatever we're about to see here. Your discretion is advised.
Fronting out at the moment.
Oh.
What? You think it's okay?
Yeah.
Well, this is a cube. Okay, by the way, if I get banned, I planned a game later. So tune in a little while and I'll play some Wolfenstein or Death Stranding or Cyberpunk. I don't know what I'm going to. I should probably continue with Wolfenstein because I was loving that game. I only played it once. But anyway, I also kind of want to play that Death Stranding thing. And Cyberpunk got updated today. New update. And I kind of want to start over, play through the whole thing again.
Get out! Fucking move on. Move on. Move on.
Okay.
How come there's always conflict with this 269 gem? You you tell me that. There's a common denominator with 269 gem videos. Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, I've had some good interviews lately. I agree. In terms of my guests, they've been awesome.
Hey, look at that! You've got your like drink all over this page.
Okay, I don't know where the warning came from. I guess this is going to continue. Okay, she comes back. It didn't need a warning. I think we can handle it. There she comes. Not done yet. Come back.
So what's your message? Stay. So you think it's okay to call you a scam? That's a hate crime. Piss off! Nico, you're trying?
No.
You tell me?
Fuck off.
Fucking get out of my face.
Oh dear. Trauma always follows her. Sure does. Good night, Alicia. Have a good night. Mary's gone. Feeding the wildlife. I have interviewed Vegan Gains. Just search my channel. I think it's like my 3rd or 4th. You can go down. I have it split up into sections like latest, popular, and for you. And I think like Vegan Gains was like my 3rd most popular, so it should be on my front page. It's called Vegan Fucking Gains because I didn't know how else to title it. And you'll notice 2 of my top 3 videos have fucking in it. I mean, not actual fucking, but the word fucking. Because my very first video, which is by far my best performing, is called Who the Fuck Is This Guy? Because, yeah, who the fuck am I? That was the only way I thought was a legitimate way to start my channel, was with a video called Who the Fuck Is This Guy? Because nobody knew who I was. And they still don't, but y'all do. Y'all know.
What'd you call me?
Back the fuck up.
What'd you call me?
Oi.
Back the fuck up.
Oi.
Call me. Don't fuck.
There's kids here.
What did you call me?
Oi, what did you say about kids? What did you say about kids?
Don't raise your fist at me. Don't fuck me.
Go on, fuck off, you
What,
cunt.
you think it's okay? No, you get out of my fucking face.
Can you unhook me? I'm afraid it's
Fucking.
Right, that's it, unhook
Hear
me.
what you said to me.
By the way, guys, did y'all know that pillow fighting is actually a competitive sport? I saw that on ESPN the other day. They were showing pillow fighting, competitive pillow fighting with like ex-UFC fighters. Pillow fighting. Yeah, they had like ring girls and everything. And yeah, it's this ridiculous sport that they created where people are fighting with pillows. The bad thing about it is they have like 1 minute rounds. It's like, what the hell? What can you do in 1 minute? Anyway, if you're curious, check it out.
Unfucking
Get out! Fucking move out! Fuck off! Move on! You fuck off!
And after far more warning, he does. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Oh.
It's her. She keeps coming back. She's assaulted us already.
Apologise because you pushed my fucking buttons, cunt. Alright? Stay the fuck away from me. Alright, well, fucking. Alright, foot at ass cunt. Get the fuck away, ass cunt. Alright?
All right.
You got warned. You were fucking warned. I warned you. I warned you.
Come on.
The drama really does follow Jim. It does. It does.
If you just get her away, that's what's going to be bad. Take her away. She keeps coming back over.
Come on. I gave you a warning. Now back the fuck
Come on.
up.
Come on. Come on. You're lucky we don't get fucking
young lady.
police.
Come on. You fucking asked for that. You fucking asked for that. Come at me again. You fucking not get back up. Right?
Take her away. She's the one that keeps coming back.
Come at me again. You will not get back up next time.
All right, I'm going to spare y'all the harsh footage because we've seen it. To every victim of the animal holocaust, I see you, I love you, you matter, and I will fight for you with everything I have and everything I am. All right. Well, that escalated. Here's that video. Go sub to 269 Jim and show her some love. And especially if you like drama, you will enjoy that channel. And we will not miss it because Kane will make sure that we see that. Y'all see my okay, there's vegan games. Y'all see my look at my algorithm. Look what it's doing to me. Showing me killers. We've got Gary. I thought it'd show way more than that because I always click on those things. I'm always clicking on those like killer realizes he's going to jail for the rest of his life. So many videos like that. All right, guys. I am going to end the stream here and I'm going to game in a little while. So y'all tune in if you want to keep hanging out with me. It'll take me a little while because I'm going to eat some dinner. But you guys, don't forget Mel and Steve's live stream, 7 a.m. UK time. If you guys are up for that, depending on where you are, on the planet, heard a noise. I don't know if y'all heard that. Depending on where you are on the planet, it's 7 a.m. UK time. Make sure you go support that stream because this is like an experiment. This is a start. And we want this to grow. And it's a great idea by Mel and Steve to have everybody live streaming from slaughterhouses all around the world. And an easy way to support that is just to show up in the stream or to do it yourself if you're near a slaughterhouse and you can do a live stream. All you need is 50 subs. And if you don't have 50 subs on your YouTube, just let Mel and Steve know or let me know, and you'll let Mel and Steve know you'll get a Mel and Steve bump. And if you want a Jeremy bump, let me know. You'll get that 7 or 8 subs. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let me real quick. I'm not going to do a real elaborate award show, but we have to keep this going. Where we do have to grade you all. We have to know where we land. Top fans. We got a tie. Wow. We got some new winners. Tied for third place is Louis Ghetto and Kane Defends Animals. Congratulations. And tied for first place, Alicia and Veganism for All. Wow. At 225 XP. Well done. Well done, everybody. Participation trophies all around. Mary, you didn't make the top 3. Oh my God. You're saving that for the gaming stream, I think. I think that's what. All right. If you're not subbed to this channel, please do. And hit the like button and the bell button. You know, that bell button. Hit the bell button so you know when I'm streaming. And hit the subscribe button above all. If you're only going to hit one button, if all you've got in you today is one click, I understand. Make it the subscribe button. Okay? Make it the subscribe button. But if you're feeling ambitious, hit the like button. And if you want to take it one step further, hit the bell button. Hit all the buttons. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see you guys later for either Wolfenstein, Death Stranding, or Cyberpunk. One of the 3. Who knows? We'll see.